Just want to give you a little update on my garden at Greenmead. I'm here at Greenmead today, and it's a beautiful day as far as I'm concerned. I love overcast 60s. That's perfect for me. Perfect for working outside, in my opinion. But I wanted to give you a little update on my garden and how things are going. And this might be my last video on this garden for the year, because I'm going to be shutting it down in a couple weeks. And there's really not a whole lot going on anymore. I've harvested most of what I'm going to harvest for this year. But today I do get some carrots. They're pretty small, and I think part of the reason is because the soil probably wasn't loose enough for them to grow down further. But they're still pretty good. They're edible, you know, they're not bad. I got some beets. These beets are also pretty small. I had some better, larger beets earlier this year, and that's because I grew them with a good distance to grow from one another. These beets that you see in this video, I grew them too close together. So that's something that I'll fix next year if I do grow beets next year. Plenty of wonderful tomatoes. Tomatoes were very abundant. If I were going to grow any one thing every year, it would be tomatoes, because they grow so well, they're so abundant, and they are delicious. They are so much better than tomatoes that you would get from Kroger. And I love Kroger tomatoes. Well, I wouldn't say I love them, but I go there a lot. Kroger's my store, and I buy them a lot. Tomatoes from the garden, leaps and bounds better. Just planted some lettuce, and we'll see how this goes. I mean, it's going great so far. Probably another week, and I'll harvest it and use it for salads. And strawberries caught me by surprise, because I only had, I think, maybe 2 or 3 tiny little baby strawberries. And they were good. I mean, they tasted really good, but they didn't grow very big. And the people I talked to said that it takes a couple years for them to really start to come in and start to grow. And all of a sudden, in September, I have all of these tiny little strawberries growing, and then this one huge strawberry out of the blue. So I'm pretty thrilled about that. It's very pleasing to see things like that. And but other than that, I want to share with you some insights that I gained from this year, from my very first year having kind of a larger scale garden. And I'll start with some of the things that I plan on fixing next year. The first one is mulching. I would mulch under many of my fruits and vegetables this time. Mulching helps to kind of govern the amount of water that your fruits and vegetables will get. My tomatoes, a lot of them split open, and I think it's because they had a lot of water at once, and then they went a couple days without water, and the watering was uneven, and I'm pretty sure that's why. Most of my little tiny cherry tomatoes, or at least a lot of them, split. And I think it's because of that. I still got a wonderful tomato crop, but I would do that next year. I would mulch. Another thing I would do is I would use copper and neem oil, 2 organic sprays that you can buy from Home Depot or probably just about any home improvement store, to help keep the pests and the funguses away. The fungal diseases away, because I had a lot of issues this year, especially with my pumpkins and watermelons with fungal issues. And I would start using copper and neem oil sprays before any sign of fungal diseases, because once they get a hold of your plants, you know, you might be able to keep further fungal diseases from taking hold, but the ones that are there, from what I've read and heard, are there to stay. So that's one thing I would definitely do next year. That's one thing I definitely underestimated. Next year I wouldn't plant things as close together, but it's not that big of a deal. The tomato plants I planted close together, but then I just pulled out the ones that I didn't need once I started to see which ones were performing well. So it's not that bad when you plant things close together. It's just like with my beets. If you let them grow up to maturity and they're too close together, you're not going to get the greatest results. The things that worked out well, like I said earlier, tomatoes were really great. You know, all of my lettuce turned out really well. I had one monster beet about this big. I might still have the picture of that. If I do, I'll show it. But yeah, just about everything turned out well. My Brussels sprouts, I don't think that they're going to make it. I think that they just need more time to grow, more time than they're going to have in Michigan. But I'll keep them up for a couple more weeks and see how they do. But other than that, it's been a nice experience. Next year, I'm probably going to grow watermelons at home on a trellis. So it's going to be elevated, and they're going to be hanging from little nets, from the ground. And I'm hoping that that's going to be my best way to keep them from getting fungal diseases. But I just want to say thanks for watching my videos if you've been watching them. If you ever have any suggestions for any other videos you'd like me to do, go ahead and leave a comment. And really, just as much as doing this vegetable garden, has been a reason for these videos, it's also been because I've wanted to get experience making videos. These have been my first videos that I've tried to kind of do, kind of edit, and I want to start getting good over time at videos. And so this has kind of helped me. This is my first 5 or 6 videos right here. So anyway, thanks for watching them. Any tips would be appreciated, and maybe I'll see you next year.